What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a very special day because today I've done a thing. Howdy. So since I got my car, really one of the things I've always wanted to do is race, go fast, and look really cool doing it. That's one of the reasons why I really love Oldsmobiles, is because they've got all the style and luxury that you could ever want in a classic car, and they're pretty quick. The Oldsmobile V8s, the small blocks and the big blocks are very torquey, make some pretty good power, whether they're automatic or manual. They're just badass cars. And in doing the reviews, I've met a lot of really cool guys, got to be in a lot of really cool cars. So that sort of led me to the decision that I really want a 442. Now, in searching online, searching through some of the forums, I found all sorts of really cool cars. I'm still trying to be kind of budget-minded, and I don't really mind taking on a project. I don't really need something that's running and driving right away, especially when the Cutlass is doing pretty well. So here's what I got. So this is my new to me 1970 Oldsmobile 442. Now this car, I mean, I felt like I was pretty lucky to find this car. I found it on the Classic Oldsmobile website, which is a forum that I'm a part of. I've been a part of it since I bought the 71. But what I really enjoy about this, what I thought was really cool, is it's a hard top. It's the same color as my car. It's the Sherwood Green. It's got a green bucket seat interior like the 71. And what's extra cool about this car is it is a big block and a 4-speed. I'm gonna be going around the car, taking a bunch of pictures, taking a bunch of like documentation type of stuff, trying to figure out, trying to look at like the different codes and the different casting numbers and things like that to learn as much as I can about the car. It doesn't run at the moment. The guy that I bought it from was out of Missouri, and he bought it from someone who was trying to take the car apart, getting ready to restore it. I'm not exactly sure where the hood went, where the original hood went. This is obviously a replacement. But overall, I mean, this car is in pretty good shape. Like, it looks a little dusty. You might be able to see that. It's been sitting in storage for a couple of years. But it was inside, it wasn't outside. Look at the wing. I love the wing. This is awesome. The inside, you might be able to tell, is all full of parts and stuff. The guy that I bought this from, like I said, bought this from someone who was taking it all apart to restore it. And so that's basically how I bought the car. So this is going to be once the Cutlass goes away for the winter time. So once the Cutlass goes away for the winter time, this is going to go into this spot. I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to start working on restoring it. Now, a couple of the things the previous owner told me, he said it is not the original engine block, so not the original motor, but it is a 455. He thinks it might be the original 4-speed and it might be the original differential. So once we are able to jack the car up, get it on some stands, we'll be able to really crawl underneath the car and start looking at some date codes and things. But this is very, very exciting. So this is going to be a huge project for me. It's going to be a huge project for the channel, and I want to document literally every single thing that I do to this car. So I'm just gonna, today what I really want to do is I want to take a bunch of pictures, take a bunch of like small video clips and things like that, really get to know this car and really take a look at every single thing that I can. Start making a list of like what needs to be done, what I want to do. Fortunately, similar to the 71, that wasn't really original when I got it. There was some work that was done to it, like the quarter panels had been redone and like the top and the interior and a couple things like that. So I want to do something sort of similar with this car. I want to get it basically back to factory stock, but I'm not looking for like a nut and bolt restoration or a frame off restoration type of deal. I really want this to be like a really solid driver, and I want to really not have to worry about it. So I want to get this to the point where I can run it around town, drive it to and from work, not really have to worry about it. Take it to some shows, show off the work that I've done. And really just have a cool car to drive around. I mean, that's really why we buy these cars. You know, we love them. We want to show them off. We want to do work to them, and we want to preserve them. So that's really what I'm aiming for. So I haven't really decided whether I want to do any like performance mods. I mean, as it comes from the factory, the Olds 455 is a pretty strong motor. So we'll have to see basically how it goes. Now, one of the things I am doing is I'm budgeting myself. I'm giving myself a monthly budget of $300 to work on this car. So whether that's trim pieces or tools that I may need to buy, that's all stuff that I'm going to be documenting, sharing with you guys, and I'll put either receipts or just general totals of everything as I'm doing this stuff. So that way you can see, let's say you wanted to go out and buy a car like this, how much is that really going to cost? What sort of investment am I putting into something like this? And it's going to be a little different with every car, but in researching this car and researching like what it could actually take to put it back together, I think $300 a month is I think that's a pretty feasible budget. So like I said, I'm going to document literally every single thing that I can. I'm going to be sharing it all with you guys. So please feel free, give me some feedback, leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I'm doing. If there's anything you see that I'm doing wrong, I know you guys watching these videos have a ton of knowledge. Please feel free to share it. I'm still learning. I'm still young. I'm still growing in this hobby, still growing in Oldsmobiles. So let me know what you know. To tell you a little bit more about the car, like I said, it is a 1970 Oldsmobile 442. It does have, you might be able to, I'll have to put a picture up, but you can see in the VIN it says 44, which means it came from the factory as a 442. It's also got an E in the VIN, which means it came from the New Jersey manufacturing plant. It is a Holiday Coupe, which means both of the windows roll down. There's no post there. There's no post on the B pillar, so both of these windows roll down and it's just entirely open cabin, which I think is the sharper of the two coupe body styles. It does have the English sport mirrors. I don't know if these were factory stripes. It looks like they're taped on. These are super cool. If I were to repaint this car, I think I might have these painted back on there. I'm not 100% sure though. Paint is going to be way down the line. I'm also not sure about these stripes either. Now these ones, I can feel just a little bit of a lip with my nail. So I think those are tape on as well, but I've never seen a car that's got the thin stripes like that. Now let me grab my phone, because one of the things I was interested in is what tires these have on them. Now these are just rollers. So these are 215 70R14, and it does look like they're the same green as the outside, which is kind of cool. Now what about the outside, or what about the rear? Because these look much bigger. So these are 245s in the back, and again, a similar green to the outside. Now let's see if we can find a date code on these. I am not seeing a date code. Unless this... yeah, I'm not sure. Either way, these are going to have to get changed. They're... even if they were replaced new, they're at least 3 years old. I'm not seeing any real signs of aging or dry rotting, but I'll have to look a little more into how to date code those and how to figure all that out. The body panels are pretty straight. I think where there's typically rust spots or holes, this car doesn't really have them. I mean, there's some small, that looks like some surface rust right there. little bit more right there. Nothing a little bit of, another little bit right there. Nothing a little elbow grease might be able to take care of. So non-original hood, as I said. I'll definitely be trying to source an OAI hood. As far as I know, I mean, these feel like they're plastic repros. I don't know if they were originally steel from the factory. It's also got some pretty neat headlight covers. I wonder if those were like a factory option, but those will be coming off for sure. Love the 442 badge. Just so sharp. I also wonder, I haven't seen too many cars with this chrome door trim. I wonder if that was like a factory add-on or something. Personally, I'm not a big fan of that, so I'll probably be removing that. And we'll have to see what the door looks like underneath that. But yeah, the wing factory, I'll have to see if that's in like the correct location on the car. I also wonder if this, I wonder if there's a way to measure from either like the back of the hood, the back of the trunk, or the bottom of the trunk to see like if that's the correct space, or like the dimensions of this little whoop-de-doop there, and see like, is this a factory wing or is it a replacement? I'm sure there's plenty of ways to tell that. But so if these are 14-inch wheels, that means they're the SS2s, which means they'll have the bolt-on center caps rather than the snap-ons. I am missing some side marker lights there, but those should be relatively easy to find. And you'll notice the car almost kind of looks like it's doing a little bit of a wheelie. But that's basically just because there's a ton of stuff in the trunk. There's a ton of engine parts sitting in the trunk. As we know, cast iron cylinder heads are pretty heavy. And the motor is pretty much taken apart. It's the short block, so it's got the engine block itself, the rotating assemblies like the crankshaft, the pistons, the rods, those are all in it, but the cylinder heads, intake, carburetor, all of that is off the car. I also have what I believe are the factory, like the original fender wells. So we'll have to see if those can be cleaned up a little bit and installed. One of the things that I really like I said, I'm not trying to do like a nut and bolt restoration or bring this car 100% back to factory. I really enjoy the W30 red inner fender wells, so I may try to find some nice reproduction fender wells for this. I just think it's a really sharp look, especially with the OAI hood and like the white stripes and the thicker white stripe down the side, sort of like the W30 stripe package. I just think that's super cool. So I may be doing that again way later down the road. I really want to get this mechanically set up first, get the interior nice, and then worry about the paint. But so that's going to be just about it for this video. If you like this video, please click the like button down below. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing with either the 71 or now the 442, please click subscribe down below and click the little bell next to it, so that way you get a notification every time I post a new video. If you know anybody that likes these cars, or if you want to feature your car on the channel, please get in touch with me using the contact information in the description. That's all for this video. I'll see you next time.